I raised a daughter for 15 years. She was my world. Until one text message told me I wasn't her father. You know that kind of silence that feels like your heart stopped beating? That's what I felt the night I opened my daughter's tablet. But before that moment, before everything fell apart, I was a man trying to build a better life from nothing. When I was 18, I wasn't the man you see now. I was a gangbanger, angry, reckless, lost in the streets. My life was a cycle of violence and bad decisions. But then I met her, Marisol, a church girl with soft eyes and a smile that felt like forgiveness. My grandmother dragged me to Sunday Mass one morning, and that's where I saw her. To me, it was love at first sight. She was everything I wasn't: clean, pure, hopeful. And for the first time, I wanted to be better, not for me but for her. I hung around the church steps just to talk to her. Day after day. She started smiling back. Eventually, she let me walk her home. And when she held my hand, I knew that if I ever had a reason to change, it was standing right there. I left the gang life behind. Got my GD. Started working at a mechanic shop. Marisol believed in me when no one else did. Not my cousin, not even my grandmother. They all said I'd never change. But I did. I became a regular at church. I started thinking about a future. And for the first time in my life, the word hope didn't sound like a joke. Then came the day I found out she was pregnant. I panicked, but it didn't matter. We eloped, and I swore I'd be the kind of husband and father I never had. I still remember holding my daughter, Luna, for the first time. She was so small and perfect. But that day nearly killed Marisol. She wouldn't stop bleeding. Doctors had to perform an emergency hysterectomy. They saved her life, but she'd never be able to have another child. That day, I made her a promise. Asterisk, I'll give Luna the life we never had. No matter what it takes. And I kept that promise. I worked nonstop. Opened my own garage. Bought a house in the suburbs. I was at every school event, every recital. I even became a Girl Scout dad. Me, a guy who used to run the streets, selling cookies and building tents. I made sure Luna knew she was loved every single day. For a while we were happy. Marisol was proud of me. Luna adored me. It felt like a movie, one of those stories where the bad guy finally gets it right. But happy stories have a way of ending when you least expect them. When Luna turned 13, everything changed. She stopped talking to me. Rolled her eyes when I said I loved her. Pulled away every time I tried to hug her. At first, I thought it was just teenage attitude. But the distance grew. It was like someone had flipped a switch and turned my daughter against me. Marisol told me to give her space. She'll come around, she said. So I waited. 2 years went by. When Luna's 15th birthday, her quinceañera, came around, I thought it could be a fresh start. I poured everything into it. A huge celebration. Music, decorations, the works. I wanted that night to remind her of how much I loved her. And I planned a father-daughter slideshow. Old pictures. Happy memories. But when I went looking for recent photos, I realized something: there weren't any. Luna hadn't taken a picture with me in years. Then I remembered her old broken tablet. Maybe it had something. I took it to a shop, paid $300 to have it repaired. When I got it back, I unlocked it. Her passcode hadn't changed. And there they were. Dozens of pictures. Me holding her when she was little, her sitting on my shoulders, smiling. For the first time in years, I felt peace. Until a message popped up on the screen. It was Luna, texting Marisol. Do I have to do the father-daughter dance with him? He's not even my real dad. I froze. My brain refused to process it. Then another message appeared, from Marisol. He raised you. That makes him your father. And then Luna replied. My real dad asterisk is Uncle Luis. I can't wait to tell him when I turn 18. My heart dropped. My cousin. My blood. The man I called brother. The man who stood by my side at my wedding. My mind was spinning, denial, rage, heartbreak, all at once. And as I kept scrolling, I found messages between Luna and Luis. Her calling him Poppy. Him calling her my little girl. That night, something inside me broke. 15 years. 15 years of love, work, sacrifice. For a lie. My wife. My cousin. My daughter. All of them, tangled in betrayal. And I knew exactly what I was going to do. I called the only lawyer I ever trusted, the one who defended me years ago. We met in Manhattan. I told him everything. Then I said the words that sealed my fate. I want to go scorched earth. He stared at me for a long time. Then nodded. And together, we planned for 12 straight hours. By the time I left his office, I had sold my business, frozen my accounts, and set the divorce in motion. But I didn't tell Marisol. I didn't tell anyone. Because I wanted her to see the truth, in front of everyone, on the night of our daughter's big celebration. The night that would destroy everything I had built. The night I would burn down the lie that built my life. The night of my daughter's quinceañera looked perfect from the outside. Music, lights, laughter. Everyone dressed in their best, pretending our lives were a dream. But only I knew what was coming. Only I knew that by the end of that night, that dream would be ash. Marisol kept glancing at me, nervous. She said I looked too calm. She had no idea that calm was the only thing keeping me from exploding. And then it was time for the father-daughter dance. The lights dimmed. The crowd clapped. Luna looked beautiful, her smile wide, fake but radiant. The song began to play, and I held her hand. For a few seconds, I almost forgot everything. Almost. Then the slideshow started. At first, it was sweet. Baby photos, birthdays, family vacations. People were smiling, clapping, some wiping tears. But then, the images changed. Screenshots appeared. The text messages. Every word. Every lie. He's not my real dad. My real father is Uncle Luis. The room went dead silent. Marisol gasped. My cousin froze in his seat. Luna's smile vanished, her face turned white. And I just kept dancing. When the music ended, I took the microphone. My voice didn't shake. For 15 years, I gave you everything. Tonight, I'm taking it back. I turned to Marisol and said quietly, you can explain it in court. Then to my cousin, every time I see you, I'm going to knock you out. And I did. Right there, in front of everyone. Then I walked out. No yelling. No scene. Just quiet destruction. The kind that leaves echoes long after you're gone. In the weeks that followed, I watched everything fall apart exactly as planned. Marisol tried to reach me, crying, begging, but I didn't care. I'd filed for divorce. I'd removed my name from Luna's birth certificate. The judge ruled that I wasn't financially responsible for her anymore. My cousin was ordered to pay back every cent I'd spent raising Luna, her private school, her dance lessons, every damn Girl Scout cookie. $500,000. I won. But it didn't feel like victory. It felt like staring at the ashes of my own home. When everything was done, I packed my bags and left New York. No goodbye. No explanation. I drove until the skyline disappeared behind me. Ended up in Idaho, a random dot on the map, as far from my past as possible. For 2 years, I was a ghost. I worked, slept, breathed, but I didn't live. The anger never really left. It just changed shape. Until one day, I met Jocelyn. She wasn't like Marisol. She didn't try to fix me, she just listened. She knew about my past, my rage, my scars. And she stayed. When she got pregnant, she insisted on a DNA test. I laughed, but my voice cracked. Because she understood, not my pride, but my pain. When my son was born, I finally remembered what joy felt like. Real joy. I thought that was the end of my story. But life doesn't let you leave unfinished chapters behind. 3 years later, my grandmother called. She was 90, frail, and wanted to meet her great-grandson. I couldn't say no. So we flew back to New York. The moment we got there, I heard a voice I hadn't heard in years. Marcus. Marisol. She looked older, tired, like life had drained her. She told me I looked good, said she missed me. Then she said the words that stopped me cold. You're a grandfather. Luna named her baby after you. I didn't say a word. She kept talking, tears streaming, saying she was sorry, that she'd never been with another man since me. That she still loved me. But all I saw was the woman who'd built my world on lies. I walked away. Jocelyn followed me down the steps, calm as ever. She just said, "Maybe your daughter needs you, not your anger." I didn't answer, but those words stayed. A week later, I got an email. It was from Luna. Subject line, asterisk, "I'm sorry." She wrote that she was angry when she found out I wasn't her biological father, that my cousin had poisoned her, told her lies about who I was, what I'd done. And when she finally realized the truth, it was too late. She begged for a chance to make things right. And for the first time in years, I cried. I called Marisol, asked if it was true. She broke down, sobbing, saying yes, everything Luna said was true. That she'd hated herself every day since the divorce. And I didn't yell. I didn't hang up. I just listened. Maybe forgiveness isn't about them deserving it. Maybe it's about you needing peace. Months later, Luna came to see me. At the airport, I saw her running toward me, crying, "Daddy!" That word, after all these years, shattered me. She hugged me like she'd never let go. I didn't even think, I just held her. And for the first time since that night, my heart felt whole again. She introduced me to her son, a little boy named Marcus. I couldn't hold back my tears. At my wedding a few months later, we played the same song from her quinceañera. And this time, when I danced with her, there were no lies, just forgiveness. Marisol's in a mental health facility now. I visited once. She didn't recognize me at first, then broke down, calling me mi amor. And I told her, "You broke me once. But I forgive you. Because I refuse to live angry anymore." When I walked out, I didn't feel pain, I felt peace. I thought revenge would set me free. But it didn't. It just kept me chained to the past. Forgiveness, that's what finally burned the anger away. And as I watch my daughter laugh with my wife and son, I realize something. I may not be the man I used to be, but maybe that's exactly who I was always meant to become.